Hi, welcome to the Escondido podcast. And to continue about my little getting some news that Peter Thiel had fled the country or was exercising Plan B or whatever he said. Um, we're just gonna we're gonna talk about the algorithmic alibi when code replaces the Constitution. This is the kind of work that Peter Thiel had developed, and he's under contract with our government to do this. So I don't know why he left, but I think that either something's going to happen here and he doesn't want to get caught up in it, or he is part of what is the change that is going to come. So these little programs that he makes, they operate under the illusion of precision. So let's talk about that. Pulling back the curtain on a deeply unsettling reality, what happens when $1 billion surveillance algorithm gets it wrong and a human being pays the price? We are constantly told that agencies like ICE use hyper sophisticated, cutting edge software to precisely identify individuals. But when the US citizens are repeatedly targeted, locked up, or even deported despite asserting their citizenship, the government's go to excuse is always the same: it was just a glitch in our system. But the evidence tells a completely different story. This isn't an oopsie. The software isn't failing. It is being weaponized as a scientific justification to override constitutional rights. This is where my problem comes in: rigging the code and breaking due process. To take a look at what happened in New York, immigration watchdogs exposed that ICE quietly adhered the code of its internal risk classification assessment algorithm. The original design It was originally designed to objectively weigh flight risk and recommend bond about half the time. The agency secretly hard coded the software to eliminate the release recommendation entirely, driving detention recommendations up to 97%. When agents pointed to the computer screen to deny people bail, they were actively violating the Fifth Amendment due process clause right inside our federal building and detention center. The Fifth Amendment explicitly states that no person shall be deprived of liberty without due process of law. By letting a rigged hidden algorithm make a final decision on someone's freedom, the government replaced a fair legal hearing with a biased line of code. This blind trust in a computer screen leads to blatant violations of the Fourth Amendment out of our community, workplaces, and neighborhoods. The Fourth Amendment protects every person on U.S. soil against unreasonable search and seizures, requiring law enforcement to have individual probable cause before making an arrest. But consider the case of Leonardo Garcia Venegas, a U.S. born citizen tackled and detained during a workplace raid. Even though he presented a valid state real ID, agents dismissed it because the predictive data of Dragnet flagged him. When agents ignore physical proof and use a software probability score to throw an American citizen in a mobile command unit, they are executing an unconstitutional arrest. The same violation happened on a massive scale through the Secure Communities program, where automated biometrics flagged led local jails to illegally hold over 3,000 US citizens without a judicial warrant. When these constitutional violations are finally exposed, the system deploys the ultimate loophole, a perfect circle of deflected blame. The government points the finger at the faulty software, while private tech contractors issue statements saying they just build the tools, they don't write the rules. By outsourcing public infrastructure to private corporations, the government builds an accountability vacuum where no one is held responsible for violating the supreme law of the land. This technology isn't being used to find truth, it's being used as a digital cover for systematic overreach. Now, I want to open the floor to you. What questions do you have about these private tech contracts bypassing the Fourth and Fifth Amendment protections? How can we push for real legal accountability when the algorithm is allowed to replace the Constitution? Write me at info@theescondidopodcast.com or comment below. Thanks for listening and thanks for showing up.